Sergio Perez just warned Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez has fired a warning to fellow Formula One stars Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, revealing he is aiming to become the best driver in the world. For a long time in his career, Sergio Perez has been an underdog, but now he's in a team worthy of the championship and he has to aim high. Do you think he has what it takes? Red Bull in 2021 hired Sergio Perez to have a reliable second driver in the team, although it was outright clear that he had to be cooperative in getting Max Verstappen his maiden world championship. Now that his goal is achieved, Perez has been advised by Mexican journalist Luis Ramirez to think about himself and punch above to get his own title. Thus, he tells him to fight internally to beat Verstappen. Ramirez says, "He will have to fight a war internally because now Max is champion, he carries even more weight within the team, and we know there is a first and second driver at Red Bull. Perez will have to fight to change that internal pecking order, and if Checo has shown one thing in Formula One in the past year, it is that he never gives up, and that's why he drives for Red Bull." There's no doubt both Hamilton and Verstappen have been the sport's most dominant forces in recent years, especially after their dramatic title battle last term. The pair finished a long way ahead of their fellow F1 drivers, as Verstappen came out on top in first ahead of Hamilton to secure his first world championship. However, Sergio Perez is more than ready to break his way into the sport's limited elite list and has outlined his plans to become the world's best. Speaking on Tag Heuer's The Edge podcast, the Mexican spoke how he had always dreamed of becoming the best driver on the planet and still has plans to do so. He said, "It's part of the show, let's say. I never dreamed of it. I never dreamt of being famous or having so much support or that. I think my main dream was related to the track, you know? I wanted to be very successful on track. I wanted to be the best driver in the world, and I'm still chasing my dream, but all the rest, it comes with it." Perez enjoyed his most successful Formula One campaign to date in 2021 and collected only his second ever victory after prevailing at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. His successes on the track have seen him become a national hero in his native Mexico, and the unwavered support he receives from his fellow Mexicans is something he is extremely thankful for. He continued, "It's nice. I have to say it's really nice when I go back home and I have all the support. I'm very lucky to have that because not many drivers get to experience that amount of support from their countries, and so I'm very lucky and privileged to have that." Subscribe to the channel if you haven't and turn on post notifications to stay tuned to the channel. Perez joined Red Bull from Racing Point, and it took him time to find his feet at Red Bull, but when he did, he really stepped up. He feels that the pressure applied by Verstappen last season helped him, as did the media's reaction to him joining the team. The Mexican scored a total of 16 top 10 finishes over the course of the season, and he feels that it was an intense year going up against Verstappen. He mentioned that it felt very intense, extremely intense, which meant that he acted along with the ever-active development works done behind the scenes. He quoted, "When you're at Red Bull Racing, the pressure is on and everyone is watching you, what you do. The media is a lot harder to a Red Bull driver, which is understandable, but yeah, it wasn't easy, but it brought me onto another level. Having Max as a teammate, he really pushes you to new levels and makes you really happy." Perez was glad to be a part of Red Bull alongside him. He added, "Having Max as a teammate, he really pushes you to new levels and makes you really happy. I'm enjoying it a lot at this point in my career. I'm really happy, and that is most important." Red Bull's Sergio Perez says he wouldn't be racing in Formula One if he didn't think he could beat his teammate and the reigning world champion Max Verstappen in a straight fight. By his own admission, the Mexican struggled to get the most from last year's car and finished the season in fourth place in the driver's standings, 205.5 points off Verstappen. On several occasions, such as the Turkish Grand Prix or the season finale in Abu Dhabi, Perez played a support role for Verstappen in his title fight against Lewis Hamilton, but says his experience in 2021 has not taken his eye off his ultimate goal of becoming champion. He told ESPN, "That's what I'm here for. I prepare myself to be a world champion. I really hope I can have a good car this season to be able to fight for it." With a new set of regulations forcing teams to start with a blank sheet of paper in 2022, there is no guarantee that Red Bull will be capable of fighting for titles again this year. But either way, Perez knows he has to beat Verstappen to stand a chance of fulfilling his dream. Perez hopes a year of experience with Red Bull has helped him unlock the necessary performance to fight with Verstappen in 2022. Asked if the pressure came from within the team or externally, he added, "Both. Red Bull expects another Max Verstappen, and the media too, and the fans too. All of that comes with it. I feel I'm pretty strong in that regard, but it requires a lot of resilience to it. The car last year was tricky, or it was tricky to get to know it. But at the same time, that car was winning races and winning the championship, so it was extra pressure. Rather than changing teams and having some time to adapt, you go straight into a team that is fighting for victories all the time." Some sources claim Sergio Perez's first season at Red Bull wasn't an easy one. However, his other driver, Max Verstappen, suggested after clinching the Formula One World Championship with victory in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix that he would not be world champion without his teammates' help, as a very specific tribute to the two crucial laps in the Abu Dhabi where Perez made a decisive contribution by delaying Lewis Hamilton. Without that, it's even possible that the controversial conclusion of the race might never have happened. Verstappen said, "I think without Checo, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, because then they would have had a pit gap with the safety car and stuff. So definitely, Checo was driving incredibly today." Perez said comparing his data to Verstappen's gave some insight into the performance gap between them, but hopes the new generation of F1 cars this year will be better suited to his style of driving. It takes time, it takes some work, and it'll be interesting, obviously, to see what happens with new cars. Of course, Verstappen, is going to be mega fast. He has a great capacity to adapt to different situations, so I've got a great benchmark on him. I think on the races I got pretty close to him last year, especially towards the end of the season. On qualifying, I'm still lacking a bit, and that's one of the things we've been working on over the winter to understand what has happened. I think we've got a really good picture of that, and hopefully we're able to take another step, find another gear in qualifying, and if we're able to do the same in the race, we'll be very strong. I'm really motivated. I've never had the opportunity to be at a top team in my career, but I'm only 32, and still I have got the best years ahead of me, and as long as I stay motivated, I will carry on. If I keep working to be a world champion, every year you need to have that motivation. Once your motivation goes down, it's time to go home, because there are great things out there without Formula One as well. I look forward to it. I want to stay at least 5 more years in Formula One. It would be exciting to see Perez challenge for the title in the 2022 season, but do you feel he's enough of a threat to the Dutchman? Like and share the video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe.